working. I have no idea. Let's see. We'll re-aim thing. What? So I'm working on this robot. It is currently, well, what? I signed up for a competition with D-robotics to build a robot. It was called the Robotic Dreamkeeper Challenge. And I intended to do build logs throughout, but that didn't really happen because I was constantly behind and not being good at filming videos. I did film one at the beginning that I might still try to cut the footage together, but oh well. The competition is over, but this is going to be an ongoing project for me. I wanted to work on something fun today that will make it into the final rendition, because the screwed to an old cutting board version of the robot is not the final. It will actually be, where is it? On this aluminum plate that I got cut at Send Cut Send and tapped with a bunch of, well, cut a bunch of holes in it that I tapped yesterday, so that I'll have kind of a modular erector set thing. But my intention for right now is to prototype the eyes for my robot. So what I want to do is give it some ability to emote better, as well as just kind of generally be cute. So I got these LED arrays that I've used before on Amazon, and they're actually really cool. So they're Treedix brand. Where's my focus? Here-ish. Treedix, not sponsored. But they have mouse bites in between them, so you can kind of break all these sections out and either use them separately or bridge these connections and use as many as you need. So for the size that I wanted to do the eyes, it falls kind of in between. I decided to skew bigger for now, because I can always break a section off later if I don't like it. And I'm not really sure how it's going to read since it's low-ish resolution, but I don't think that'll matter. So right now my plan is to make some different eye designs that can read as different moods or modes, as well as some static glyphs for like errors or whatever. And then wire that up with an IMU that can make it be a big googly eye, basically. So I'll just program in the physics for that. So that's my general plan for right now. I'm just gonna pretty much what's the word? This is going to be a pretty rough video while I work on stuff. I plan on just kind of turning on the camera basically whenever either something cool happens or I have a thought I want to share. I'm trying to get better at kind of ad hoc filmmaking also, because I try to put way too much production value into things, and then they just end up not being done. So that's the plan. We'll see how far I get tonight. Okay, it's been a bit, and I have done a couple things. I soldered up my, let's get light over here for camera to see things. Okay, so got my LED array. I soldered up the positive and negative, and then all the data ins and outs looping that. I haven't jumpered everything together yet because I haven't actually started on the code. But I've got my little baby Pico and an iMute so that when I actually start doing eye shapes, I can test animating them with movement so that when the robot moves around, it can do googly eye stuff. And then I printed out some templates and went in and kind of experimented with a bunch of different eye shapes and possible animations that I can test out once I get the code running. So I'm going to finish wiring this up. Let's see, focus over here. I'm going to finish wiring this up, put some code together, and probably start out with just a quick, like, single googly eye pupil thing. And then once I have a couple things to test, I want to figure out a good distance for some diffused acrylic to make a lens to hopefully kind of blend everything together. So I don't know how long it's going to take me, but for you it will happen right now. So that thing happened where I worked on this for hours and didn't film anything. But it's cool. So I haven't started making the IMU work yet, but it's late and I have work in some hours. All right. So right now I've got various kind of test eyes, and they're probably all going to be blown out on the camera. I was using Claude to help code a lot of this and had it put together kind of a little HTML test or HTML program that had basically the same layout as my templates, and then I could just go in and pretty much just color them in, copy my physical papers, and then use that to, it would just export the, it's 2:30 in the morning. Export the code that would be any particular pattern. But it then, let's see, did we cycle all the way back around? We did. I've got some scraps of this acrylic that is kind of a special, it's not just frosted, it's actually a diffusing, or an acrylic that's made for diffusing LED lights. It has, like, when they extrude it or cast it, I think it basically just has like mica powder, baking soda or something mixed into the plastic. So if I get that, like, maybe about that far, you can start to kind of fuzz the pixels together, and you go too far, you can lose all your definition and be too fuzzy. But there's definitely a sweet spot where it looks pretty good, and at least from what I can see on my camera, I think it looks better in person on camera, but still not bad. So I'm going to try to figure out, kind of tune that LED distance. I also need to tweak my code because I have, for the normal eyes in my loop, I have like kind of some random noise for a staccato, and then also adding in just a blink. But that was supposed to not happen on the glyphs and warning signs. So like if I don't give it any stick input, it'll like kind of just do little wanders. And then my stick input just gets added to whatever that is. But that's as far as I'm going to get tonight. Tomorrow I might be able to build up a second one of these and also put this one in a case or something. But if you actually watch this, thank you for following along, and hopefully this will be mounted on a robot tomorrow and actually do stuff with the robot. I'm going to bed. So that's working now. Weird.